You are live.
Ooh,
So
hello.
it is saying to us that we are live and welcome because this is the first time for Chris and I that we are doing the Oneness by Diversity Talks. So welcome, Chris. How are you today?
Hey, welcome, Mariska. How are you today?
I'm
I'm fine.
great.
It's exciting. It's for me the first time ever I'm live, so I've never done it before. So
Okay.
let's see how it works.
Yes, exactly. This is a tryout for us people because this is the very first. And well, I've done a couple before, but usually I'm alone and I will start talking and talking and talking, and well, then I finish. But this is the first time that I have a nice co-host, and she's Chris. She's from the Netherlands, like me. We are both from the Netherlands, but we're doing this talks in English because um, we are working both with uniqueresearch.com. You can see it down below. That is a research, of course, because that's what it's called. And what we are doing is, well, we want to share our experimenting and our experiences, personal experiences, with what we have learned from our purpose paper. And I will try to give a little or short version of a purpose paper. We have a very dear friend, Monique Sutorp, who has initiated research into if human beings are energy beings. And to find that out, she wants an empirical answer to this question. She has designed. Can I call it designed,
Now
Chris?
she didn't design it, but she used it as a tool. It was designed by Ra in the 1980s, 1986, I think, but I'm not quite sure.
Oh
And
no, no, now you're talking about something else. No, the
oh,
purpose paper itself is
oh, the
is
purpose
designed.
paper itself. Yeah,
Yes, is
she
designed
has
by
designed
Monique.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but maybe it's also nice to tell them what is a purpose paper. But
yeah. Well, I wanted to go to
sure.
the tool that she used as an inspiration information from Ra Uruhu. Is the one who got all the information about something that's called human design. I'm not going into that at the moment because it's just used as inspiration and it's not the basis of this research. The basis of this research is the quantum physics because Monique has studied colors and the wavelength of colors. So she is approaching this question: Are people, are human beings energy beings, from the wavelength side? So the quantum physics part of well, it's a part of the human design also. So in the purpose paper, we heard, because it was read to both Chris and I, we heard our purpose, why we are here on this earth, and also the gifts and talents we received to fulfill this purpose. And the most important ingredient, in my opinion, and I will ask Chris later if it's her opinion too, is that it is all based on a color. And I am the color yellow, and Chris is the color red. And what does that mean? Well, it means that if you are aware that you have a different energy wavelength than other people, you can start to experiment with that. And it's the experimenting and the experiences during the experiment that we want to talk about in these oneness by diversity talks. So, are you thinking the same way, Monique? Monique, sorry, Chris.
I think Monique is thinking the same way. Yeah, no, but yeah, Chris is thinking the same way. But um, actually, I want to add something with it because you forgot to mention the inner authority, and the inner authority is the way we will see and we will know our truth. What is true for us, and what do we need? And there are several different ways. Like you have different ways of energy fields. You have also different ways of the inner truth, and that is very important. If you know your inner truth and you know your energy field, then you can you can experiment with that, because both they have the do's and the don'ts. And if you start to live like that, with that, what is working for me, what's not working for me, it will be so much more efficient. And it will also be, you will find yourself more and more in the flow,
Yeah,
because you're not,
definitely.
like they say in Dutch, you are swimming against the
Current.
stream. Yeah, so brrrt, and but then you go with the stream, so it will save you a lot of energy and a lot of, anger or disappointment or frustration. Depends on what kind of energy field you are or you have. I have to say, because you're not your energy field, but you have
Exactly.
an energy field.
Yeah, so true, so true. Thank you for adding that on, Chris. I see we have one viewer.
Oh,
So let's
really?
ask,
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know who, but maybe let's ask them, let's ask her or him if they want to write a comment so we can see, because if I'm correct, we have also a possibility that I can read the comments live here. So let's see if there's someone watching, or maybe because I have the. Oh, wait, maybe it's me. No, it's not me. Okay, well, it's interesting because I'm looking at the same page, but I don't see anything. So let's hope that someone is able to see us, because people, this is also an experiment, literally, because it's the first time. So we're trying to find out how everything works and how we are getting across on the other side on YouTube. So if you are looking, please let us know. That would be nice, and then we know that we are live and that we people can see us. So okay, let's dive just right in, because it isn't about teachings. It isn't about lessons to be learned. It isn't about like a Bible, and then you have to follow these rules, and then this or that will happen. What we are here to do is really only share what we encounter in life, and hopefully it gives you guys inspiration to start experimenting on your own. Now, I can imagine that you are like, yeah, that's all nice and good, but how do I know more about those energy fields? Well, if you and just don't do it right now, do it later, but I will give you a little information, and I will in the end of the show I will get back with that information again so you can see it or write it down again. But if you are going, sorry, if you go to www.youniqueresearch.com/research-library and you look under latest research, there you can find all the one pagers. Hey guys, I'm in Mexico, so sometimes you hear a lot of noises happening over here. I cannot cancel them out, sorry. So you can go there and read up on the energy fields. And what is nice, maybe to try out, the first experiment to do is read them all and try to find out if you recognize yourself in one of them the most. And then, well, the next step, you can hear it another time or ask us in on the website itself. So let's get started right now on our experiments. Chris, do you want to share something that happened or you experiment with this week?
Yes, actually, I would like to. Yes. First, I want to share people what my energy field is. My energy field is a generator, and my inner authority is the emotional. So what is this about? A generator needs to initiate by response.
Can I just a little side? Can you please call it a red energy field because of the research we are in the energy fields and the colors?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I'm a red energy field, and the red energy field needs to be initiate by response. And response means all kind of things. Like first, I address somebody and say, "What?" For example, Mariska, what a beautiful top you have. And then you say, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." So then I've made my I introduced myself and my energy with you field with you, and then I can initiate. Or I just or literally you ask something and I respond and then I initiate. So and the emotional means that I am a being of feeling. My inner truth lies beneath the feelings. I need to feel. I have a wave, so I can have highs, I can have lows, and but before I know what I want, what I need, and what my truth is, I need to feel everything. I need clarity, and my clarity lies beneath those feelings. So, yeah, it depends on how personal something is. The more personal, or the more, yeah, the bigger the personal thing is, the longer the time it needs to be clear. So if it's like, what would you like? If you ask me, for instance, Chris, what would you like to eat? I'm sure I don't know right away what I want to eat, but I don't think it will take several weeks to know what I want to eat, but maybe a few hours or sometimes maybe one day. I don't know. But anyway, but if you ask me, Chris, what kind of car would you like? Then I think it will take some more time to uh, to feel, to be clear about what kind of car I want. So for a short thing to explain my energy field, and what did I yeah what did I experience this week? Actually, I something very nice by the response. I'm a very creative person, and you can also call sometimes you can call me like an artist in a way. And but I found it very difficult just to start writing or to start painting or whatever. And I never knew why, but this week I got the insight. I've got clarity about that, because suddenly I thought, okay, it is because I need to respond. I can't be just start with something, start with creating. I can't, because my red energy field says I have to respond. So I need an assignment or something like that. And now Monique, the founder of the research, she asked me to write about, to find my own voice about the children, because one of I have a dream and I want to fulfill it, and I will. I feel that to use this, to use the research, but also to use the human design on creating, finding to use it as an inspiration, like Monique does, for creating a new way of raising children, or not only raising, but also how do you say that? Guide, or be a guidance, or be helpful with the children or adolescents, because they need it, because and I have experienced this from my own life. I had a very difficult childhood, and not because of my parents, but mostly because of the schools and things like that. But that's a whole different story.
Yeah, maybe it's good that you do a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that, please, because
Okay.
I think it's really valuable. A lot of people have that they don't feel right at ease where they are in school or in their family or in
Yeah.
like a sports something. Um, and I think it's good to address that if you would like to.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, very, yeah, very much. Um, yeah, guys, you have to know actually, 70% of the people, they have the red energy field, not only the same red, because there are so many shades of red, but they have, a lot of people, a lot of people, they have the red energy field. So a lot of things are also the system of the school systems and raising people, the raising children systems are based on the generator. So that, and then you will think it will match me, but it didn't match me because I have completely different and odd, not odd, but a little bit odd purpose. And so I'm not average person. And that's caused, so I was very much damaged by the school system because of that, because I needed a lot of special approach. I also have a very high IQ, intelligence quote, and that was also some a part of it. But actually, because of that, the teachers and didn't know how to handle me, and it was completely wrong. Now, since I know my purpose says, oh, this girl, she does not need to learn, because learning for her is like putting something, put myself into a box and put myself in a jail. I need to be free. And when I accept myself the way I am, then I will be able to get everything I need. So I don't need to learn. I'm very lucky, actually. I don't need to learn. I get everything I need, just like that. And then I start to think, yeah, diversity. Yes, it's this is the key. And because I had a very traumatized childhood by school, very traumatized, very. Uh, I want to. It gives me a drive to change the approach for children and for adolescents. I want to yeah, put the diversity in the spotlights, and by using the tool of the paper, the energy fields, but also the inner truth, and also the purpose, and also the talents and things like that, like a tool. You can know, the teacher knows, and but first the parents know, and then if it's a little bit unusual, and then the teachers will you need it too. So then the child can be raised in and in, yeah, more safe. And it's the chance of traumas and things like that, will be put into a minimum. So then the child or the adult will thrive, and this is what we need. And because of my experience, it gives me a drive, so much a drive to do this for the children. And yeah, why did I start this story? I forgot. This is also, guys, this is also part of the red energy field, they can talk a lot. You'll find out.
Yeah, it's a very nice example of the red energy field. But we were starting because you were explaining that you went into response when Monique
Oh yeah.
asked you to write
Oh
about
yeah.
your, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Yes, you're
for
welcome.
informing me. Yes. So I was in response. So then I found out, oh my God. And now I'm working on it. And then I realized now now I am responding and now it's working for me. If I start something just from scratch, just out of the blue, I find a lot of frustration because it's not working. This is because of my energy field. For you, example, for you, by instant, you have the manifesting, but you will tell yourself. For you, it would work, but not for me. So yeah, actually, it gives me so much yeah, power and in this insight, and it made me very happy, and it gives me the flow. So this is what I wanted to share.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for sharing that, Chris. Because that's really, I think, most important to get across with a lot of people who are struggling with, well, the feeling of struggling, actually. Yeah, I hear a lot of people, yeah, I struggle with this and I struggle with that, and this isn't going as I would wish, and that's not
Mhm.
going. And oh, I've been there. My whole life was looking like that. And actually, for me, it apparently is also why I was born. I need to struggle in life, but that's a
Oh,
totally different story to tell, and it will come up in all the oneness of diversity talks. Because for me, experimenting is my purpose. I need to do things, try things out, and then I have to go flat on my face and do it all over again course, another in another way. Because otherwise, you don't want to be the donkey that hits his head 3 times to the same stone. But that's my purpose in life, is to well, struggle. And I say it with quotes because I don't find it a struggle at the moment anymore. I used to find it, but finding out what your energy field is, finding out what my purpose was, what my talents are, it made so much sense. My life made
mm,
all of a sudden so much sense. And what happened was, like Chris is saying, when she responds, she gets in a flow. For me, I inform people and then I take action. But there's a big but. It isn't like, oh, I can do everything that I wish because I'm degree of the yellow energy field. No, I have to wait at the right timing. So I have a inner authority. Chris mentioned it already. For me, it's instinctive. It's called spleen. So she is an emotional. She has the wave. I have the spleen, and that's in the moment. So I need to be awake. I need to be alert in the now, and really be. That's what I found out for me, is I need to be really in my body when I'm in my mind. And believe me, I'm there also a lot. It's hard to get in the body and stay in the body. It's easier when you are, for example, for me, in nature. But when I was living in Holland, I wasn't really in nature, and I was living in an apartment, and usually I was in my mind and I was thinking about things to do and thinking about how to do them. And in that moment, I never felt the right timing. So what happened was that I would start something, and I start a lot of things because I have a lot of ideas. And then, like 2 weeks later, or a day later, or sometimes months later, I found out that it isn't working. And I was like, why isn't it working? And so it felt like a struggle. It felt like it wasn't easy. It was always, everything worked against me, or at least felt like working against me. And so this finding out my, for example, the informing part, because I tend to do things without informing, and then a lot of people with other energy fields, they tend to. In Holland, we call it you do your soles of your feet. You put them in the sand, and you're not moving anymore. So what, for example, what I experiment with and what my experience is that. Um, I had an opinion about something and I had researched that because that's something that I do. And then I would tell the people about what I've researched. And I was like, okay, I want to know, I want to help you get information so you can make informed decisions for yourself about big things that happened in the last couple of years. So I was sharing that information, and not to get people to do that, but more like, okay, please be informed and know things before you decide something. Because for me, that is really important. I need to know things, I need to understand things before I can make a decision. And even that decision is in the now, I need to still be, yeah, prepared in a sense. But I was thinking, if I want that, everybody wants that. Wrong. They don't. So what happened was the people were even a little bit, well, nasty to me, or they didn't understand me. And I got really angry because I was like, well, I'm researching this all for you guys and you're not responding to me. And then what happened was my partner at the time, he would tell people exactly the same thing as I was telling the people. And then they listened. And I was like, that's strange because I told them to. And when I tell them, they are like, they're like angry at me and they don't want to hear about it. And it's not true. And I was like, why? What is happening here that they are listening to him, but they are not listening to me?
And do
So,
you know why now?
yeah, I do know why. Because, first of all, for me, I'm here to research a lot of stuff, but it's for me. I research it for me. That's my decisions I have to make in life, and that's it. I don't do it for the common good. I don't do it for the other people, for the community. I do it just for myself. There can be a result that some people look at me and they see me do things and then they get inspired to do the same thing or try the same thing, but that's different. I was trying to teach them and I was
Mhm.
trying to tell them that they need this information. And the the person I was talking about who were sharing and they were listening, he has a totally different profile and a totally different purpose. And it is one of his things is that he is here on this earth to share things with others. So then they are open and then they listen because it's his energy field that makes the room for people to listen to him. And at that moment, for me, it became clear, and I need to stress this, this is for me. Another yellow energy field can have totally different experiences because they have totally different inner truth, another profile, another purpose, another talents, another gifts. So this is not what I'm telling you is for you. No, this is for me, and you can hear it. And if you are yellow energy field, you can experiment with it to try out if the glove fits or not. But it is just my experience. So in finding out that I'm here for me, it made my life way easier because now I know I can just do the things that I want to do when the timing is right, and that's my spleen telling me the timing is right. And when I do it, then everything falls into place. Like for example, I had a breakup with my relationship after 21 years, and what now? You have 21 years, always been together, and then you are all of a sudden, you need to decide what's the next step. And I'm in the middle of emotions and grieving and a lot of things happening. So I'm not really feeling the spleen really good at the moment. And so or at that moment, sorry, now it's better, but at that moment. So I was like, okay, I'm in this experiment, so why not experiment with using my inner authority, so my instinct to make decisions for the next steps that I am going to take? Because what if those decisions bring me what I always longed for? So that is the biggest experiment in my life that I am in right now. But before that, I was already experimenting. So what happened was, for example, like I said, I like to investigate. That's me. That's part of my profile. And what happened was I was researching this place in Mexico. It's called Lake Chapala, and I had found out everything. I knew exactly how much it was to rent the place, which doctors were there, how much it cost to have air conditioning on during the hot season. I investigate literally everything I can find. I will investigate. So after 2 weeks intensively investigating, um, nothing happened, and I was like, I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving forward. Why? And so I decided to let it go. And then a great friend of mine, she said to me, well, maybe it's better for you to be like in a community. What wouldn't you like that? Then you are not alone in the other part of the world, and you have some people that you can rely on if something happens or something like that. And I was like, oh, interesting. So I started researching that. And also, it took like two days that I was researching, and I ended up somewhere in a community kind of environment, and it was near the town called Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And I was like, oh, but how does the town look like and what is there to do? So I just researched that, and then I saw, and I have a very long dream in my heart for a very long time, and that is that I want the mountains in my back, I want the ocean or a river in front of me, and I need a lot of green area, a lot of nature, a lot of jungle or trees or whatever. If it's green and lush, I want that. That's my biggest dream. So I was looking at the photos of Puerto Vallarta, and to my biggest surprise, it was exactly what I imagined to live. So that was, I was like, okay, that's nice. Then the second thing was that I was like, well, maybe I can find some nice accommodation. And if I find a nice accommodation, then maybe I will decide to go there and try it out. So I was researching on Airbnb, and I think I looked through maybe 200 apartments, and there was none was speaking to me. But none was like, oh yes, I would like to be there. And then all of a sudden I opened this page, and it said something like a dream apartment in jungle or something rather like that. And I was like, wow. The photo, it was of a pool, and then around the pool it was really lush and green, and the serenity was speaking to me through the photograph. So I was like, okay, I think I found the place where I would love to stay and heal from the breakup. So within 12 hours everything was arranged. So I booked the place, I booked the flight, and looking back at 2 weeks of researching and doing the stuff with the other place, Lake Chapala, nothing happened. There was no, my body wasn't moving. There was nothing happening. I didn't do something, and now all of a sudden it fell into place. It's like a click, click, click feeling for me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel it.
Yeah,
There's
and then
something
you are in the flow.
exactly. It's like it, and it happens, and it and it happens. So it's flow. It's easy. So I booked everything, and then, well, there were a lot of coincidences because I don't really believe in coincidences. But what happened was, a couple of days before I went there, I found out that the person who is running the Airbnb, he is Dutch. So I was like, what? How beautiful is that? And that's because I really believe that because I follow my instinct, the universe and instinct, they are working in the same, they are in cahoots with each other. So they are arranging for me that things will happen for me, that I need to stay in that flow. So arriving here, the other thing I found out was that the people here where I'm staying at, they are like-minded. So they think the same way. They think the same about a lot of things that I do too. So I was like, how beautiful is it that when you follow your inner authority and your energy field,
Mhm.
that not only you are in flow, but you get the, or I got the people on my path that are helping me heal, but also where I find kinship with.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I think the biggest experience I have had in the last 1.5 months. So I thought, well, I shared that because it's, for me, it's a testament of how things can go in flow in life without having it feel like a struggle. Because I'm here to learn, I'm here to experiment because that's my purpose. But experimenting and learning can go with flow instead of struggle.
Mhm.
So, and that for me was one of the, I think, biggest enlightening moments that I could have, that you have struggle and it's in flow at the same time. So, yeah, that for me was really special. Is that something that you recognize within your maybe friend group or for yourself, Chris?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It sounds very yes, because I actually I know a lot of one free profile people. There are so many around me in my neighborhood, my son, my partner, name it, friends, a lot. And yes, I recognize a lot. But I also want to add something with your story. What you will find if you are more and more with your energy field and your inner truth, you will find out that the trial and error will be much more positive than negative.
Yep.
And because if you this is something, this is encouraging, because I cannot, I imagine I'm also, yeah, I also have the free in my profile, so also for me trial and error. And but I can imagine that sometimes it's hard always to experience and to trial and error thing, and you get tired of it. But there is light on the horizon, because if you know, if you have the awareness that the more you are aligned with your energy field and your inner truth and other things and your talents and gifts, the more you will experience positive trial and error than negative trial and error. And that is, it gives you hope. I
Yeah.
think, because not always, yeah, everything is working for you, I know, but sometimes, like a breakup that you said, it's so painful. I had a breakup, I think, I a lot also, I think it was in 2008, so I know what are you, I know what you are going through, and it's very, very painful. It's very stressful, and but it's also opening a lot of doors. I know for me, I know from that time I found myself. I was completely lost. I lost myself, and I found myself again just by breaking up. And then you really, really know and experience that, if you are going the right way, you will find yourself more and more. And actually, what I also experienced today, we had a very, very, very beautiful peer talk. Not peer talk, but the peer meeting. And we were talking about one of the gifts. It's melancholy, and yeah, and it really inspired me. It really hit me in my core, because because if you know, if you are aware of things like that, the big you have one big key in life, and the biggest key you have in life is acceptance. Accept yourself the way you are. And if you accept yourself the way you are, and you can do that better if you know,
Who you
yeah,
are.
who you are, what your talents are, and what things like that. But for me, what I experience more and more, and actually especially today, like for me, it was an insight. Acceptance, to accept yourself the way you are is the big key. And yeah, and and then I come back. So I can recall what you say. Yeah, yeah,
I think it's interesting that you say, because I certainly believe that acceptance is really, really important. Uh, because yeah, for me it was like, if I'm not accepting of me, why am I expecting others to accept me for who I am? So
huh?
that is a really big thing for me to find out. And another
Hmm.
thing that I'm finding out also, which for me is also a big key in life, is surrendering. Because
Hmm.
for me, it's a little bit different than acceptance. Surrendering to life
Okay.
is also um, uh, to let just things happen.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It's also a
I'm
very big key. Yeah.
yeah, I'm someone who always wants to have control with, especially my mind. It needs control. I need to
Hmm.
control everything. I could lay awake for like hours and hours before I fell asleep, because I was thinking about all the things that could go wrong, and how would I fix them if they would go wrong. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of people will recognize
Hmm.
this. It never happened, because when something happened, it was always different than I had thought up. So for me, getting out of that mind peace, and be in myself, really, in my body, in myself, and then surrender that life will happen,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you don't need to work at it. And that's for me is the, well, most challenging part, because I was brought up and always believed I have to work really, really hard to
Hmm.
get the things that I want in life.
Hmm.
And when you got the first time someone said to me, and I wasn't even aware of purpose papers and stuff like that. It was a spiritual coach I had at the point, and she said, "Dear Mariska, just lean back and let it happen. It will happen for you." And I was like, "Yeah, right. Eh, That's stupid. You need to do something, because if you
Hmm.
don't do something, nothing will happen."
Hmm.
So, and what I see right now in the world happening, if I've done a coaching program, and there is a topic is that first you dream it up, and you have the big dream, you dream it up, and
Visualization.
then you have to do it. No, that's not what they are saying. They are saying then it's good to take action, and there's a difference in doing and taking action. For me, there is a difference, because the doing part is um, keeping busy. That's doing for me. Busy, busy, busy. I have to do stuff, and I have to work, 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 work. But
Hmm.
taking action doesn't mean you have to work. Taking action can also be that you are speaking with someone about your dream, or that you are researching something on the internet. But it's an action step that you take. It's not something that you are doing as work. It's because you want the universe to know what exactly you dream of, and then you take the action steps. But you're not going to look for the person that is going to help you. You are not going to look for the house that you want. You can, and then there's two different ways of looking. You can research whatever you like in a house, and then let it come to you. The real estate guy will come to you, or
Hmm.
the uh, some friend comes to you and he says, I found the perfect house. I think it's really up
Mm.
for you. And then according your energy field, you can respond to it, or you can do something. For me, it's doing something. Um, and then you let life happen for
Mm.
you. And that's what I like in this experimenting, is that I find more and more little moments that I'm like, oh, this is what they mean with let life happen for you. Because I have now people showing up. For example, yesterday I had an unexpected fiesta over here in Mexico. I was invited to quinceañera, so a boy who was 15 years old, and I was talking with some lady over there, and I'm looking for another place to stay after this stay here, and I did put out in the universe what my wishes are, and she came to me and she said, "Well, I have two apartments, and if you'd like, I can show them to you. I don't know if it's the one, but I didn't need to go look for it. It came to me, and that is what my experience is. That the more I experiment, the more I am working from my energy field with the informing, listening to my spleen. Those things are happening more and more and more. And I don't know,
Mm.
do you recognize that, Chris? Do you have that in your life too? That it's
Yeah.
going like that?
Oh, completely, completely. I, of course, I on a different way because I don't have the yellow energy field and I have the emotional. But yes, completely. For me, I have. So I was talking about my dream, working with children, and of course, I from 2009 I stepped out of the working society because I had a very good job, but I felt like if I go on like this, I get sick and die easily, you know. So I had to change my completely life, and I did in 2009. And but one of my what I was really hoping for was my wishes is to do things on my way, the way I am. I was uh, designed because I am a very designed in an abstract way. I give a lot of abstract things because I can take them out of the quantum field, and then it's all really it's all about solutions, yeah, solutions orientated, and nobody knows if it's true because it is true, but it has to be approved and validated. And this is I can do that because I don't have the talents to do that, but I know a lot, and I can give a lot of solutions. So I decided for myself, okay, I want to do that, and I want to let the society come to me instead of I go to the society because this is not working. I respond, they come to me and then I respond. I didn't know then that it was conformed my energy field, but instantly I did it. And this is working for me. But now comes why the story is what I'm finding out at the moment. Um, I have a dream. I want to write a book. I always see four books in front of me. I don't know why, but yeah, I see it. But I want to write, and I told you before. I have an Monique asked me to, and now I'm starting, and I before I knew before I had my paper read, I was initiating and writing and wrote stories and things like that, but it was never really working. And like your story, nobody listened or they didn't. You need, and now suddenly this week and last week, but it's so funny because it's very coincidence, I don't believe it either. My neighbor, I have a new neighbor, and she studied psychology. I had a client and a very good, beautiful woman, and she studied, uh, yeah, raising. Yeah, it's called in Dutch. It's pedagogiek, but it's like the science of raising children and things like that. And I was saying, whoa, I need that too. So I find myself at the moment people coming to me, and you came to me and said, Chris, I want to do this talk. Wow. I can go on for more than an hour to tell what is coming to me now. And it's also, I'm going to next week, Tuesday, I will have my first performance lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I will give it will I will talk about the experiment, but the research, but most I will talk about the chart and for the adults, not. But I know, I know I will do more and more for children, because this is what I'm going to do. This is for me like training to do it, because I was always thinking and I had a vision like I want to be in a room with people listening to me, and people
And
come
it
to
will
me.
come. It will come because you're talking to the parents, so they will be triggered while
Yeah,
you talk about
yeah,
their children, because there are a lot of uh, parents out there that are looking for
yeah.
answers on
Oh, so
how
many,
to.
so many.
Yeah, so it will happen. Everything will
And
happen for you.
yeah, oh yeah, oh, I know. And
Yeah.
what is also nice, because I also inspired someone else, and she will become, I think, a peer too. And I already asked her for sharing, doing the job together, with for the children. So I can't do it on my own, because I
No, it's
need
way
a
too
lot of
much.
people. Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
And she was like present. She was like coming to me just like that.
Yeah.
I was not looking for it. And so I have the same, yeah, on a different way, but it's the same what you're telling. It's and I can say it's that we are now in May, and this month it will happen to a lot of people. Believe me, because if you are open for what you are intend to be, or yeah, then you will find a lot of things like this, and because it's in the air at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. The planets and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I think it's really nice that yeah, if you start doing this kind of experimenting in life,
Mm.
that you get nice surprises.
Oh, so nice. And I can tell you one thing more. When Monique read my purpose paper, and she read my purpose, and she said, Ra is calling my purpose hilariously funny. And so when I hear that, I wanted to throw this. I was to her, and I said, "What? Funny, funny, funny? It's not funny. It's pure drama. It's completely terrible. My life is terrible, and not everything, but and and then I started to be more aware and to experiment. And now I think it's 1.5 year later. I understand Ra, and I say, yeah, it is funny. It's hilariously funny. So this is what's going to happen. What you were talking about. If you are experimenting and finding the flow, you will see that life is fun and is really happening for you. Even it's not that I only have now nice things in life. no, I have shitty things as well, but I feel the shitty things happen for me, so I have the strength, I have the power, and I have the faith, and I can surrender myself and let things happen. And then I will find after, because everything will have will pass. This is the most thing. The nice things will pass, and the ugly things will pass. Everything is not forever, And once you are more aware of that, and you're not holding on to things, so you don't want to nice things to happen all the time, but you let them freely go, then yeah, then it's more and more easy to live. And
Yeah, it is. And I think it's a really good point that you bring up. Before I go on further on that, because it's like 4 minutes before, for me two, for you nine, we will be wrapping up the call soon because we don't want to go too long. But I see there is
yes.
another person looking, so maybe they can write a comment so we can check if the comment section works. And well, let me know who you are, or let us know who you are, because it's always nice to know who's watching us. So, but I love that you bring up that point about, it's not always fun and games. Even when you're knowing what your purpose is and your gifts and your talents, you still have to live life. And life is with ups and with downs and in betweens. And like, for example, my breakup after 20 years, that, well, I can actually say it's a big down for me at the moment, and it's something that I'm really working through. And but what for me does help make it lighter is, we can communicate really good with each other, even though we are broken up. We still have a good communication, and that is something that I learned because of the energy fields, because I know how to talk with him that's good for him, and he knows how to be with me, be what's good for me, so we stay
Mhm.
in a clear communication, which in my opinion is great, because usually after breakups, most ugliest things that
Mhm.
happen are that the communications get really bad, and then people end up, with lawyers and bad stuff
Mhm.
and yelling and shouting and whatever. So, um,
My
knowing, yeah, knowing your information, knowing what your energy field is and how people react to it, and how you can deal with life in a better way, makes for
heart.
me that the dark and the down parts in life are easier to digest, are not as gloomy as they are otherwise could feel. For example, I can get, I have my depressed moments that I'm really sad and I feel really sad for myself, and I do a really
Mm.
good pity party at moments. It, I need it, but now I know it's okay. It's okay that you wallow in your sadness, in
Mhm.
your grief, and let it be there. Give it the room, and in giving it the room, I feel and I experience that it makes me lighter, and then
Mhm.
I can go to the next onion peel. The shield, around an onion, you peel it off. Everything, every time there comes a new peel that you can peel off, and then you heal another part of yourself. And that's for me so um, valuable,
Valuable.
precious, valuable. Yeah, it's
Precious.
so valuable to have that, because yeah, otherwise I would really get depressed and stay in a depression for like months or years. And no, now I know there's a reason always to live, because
Mhm.
there are greater things that are waiting for me. So let's go and let's get
Yeah.
there.
For instance, you are in Mexico now, otherwise you will still be in Holland.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I didn't get any comments, so that's too bad. Well, we don't know who's been watching. I will check it out. But for now, we will wrap it up because we are at the hour.
Yes.
And just a little disclaimer again. And oh wait, I will put up the banner again for the website address. So write it down if you're looking, or if you watch later, and check out the Energy Field 1 pages over there, because they are really interesting. So this is for us, it was the first time. We hope that you enjoyed it. If so, let us know. If you have any questions already, which I can imagine you do, write them down under the video on YouTube. And in the description, you will find also the link to the website, to the research website, and more information on the website. And next week, same time, 8 o'clock in Holland, so Amsterdam time, and 1 o'clock CST, so that's Mexican Puerto Vallarta time, we are live again. And we don't know what we are going to talk about, because we see what the energy will bring us.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris, for everything,
Thank you,
and I
Mariska.
wish
It
you
was very nice.
a great day.
You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.